Then I will start then. My name is Måns Ryttmäster, and I'm a staff geotekniker at SGE. And I shall just get up my presentation window also, so I see what I want to say. There we go. And I am a geotechnical engineer at SGE since 2018, and I studied at Chalmers at civil engineering at 2016. But I also had some courses at Luleå where I learned some praxis, and I also am a member of a Swedish Geotekniska Institut. I also worked when I was done at Chalmers, I worked as a consultant in the private sector as a geotechnical engineer also. So something about I also learned. I haven't heard about AutoCAD and other slope stability softwares like Slope, Plaxis, and GeoSuite, but I never learned them during my Chalmers years. But I learned them at the work. So there are just some geotechnical progress softwares that you can maybe need to know about if you want to work to a geotechnical engineering as your work life. And what is SGE? SGE is a state expert authority, and we are around 100 employees. And our work is to prevent landslide and beach erosion and other effects of climate change. And we also develop the new knowledge about these areas, and also find new methods to clean up contaminated areas. So we have a lot of what's called förorenad jord, and people know about miljövetare. We also have a lot of those in SGE also. And one other part of SGE is to go through referrals regarding the detailed plans. And finally, we have a tjänsteperson in beredskap, where we have one geotechnical engineer on standby for the rescue services and municipalities to call every day, every hour in whole Sweden. We can also say that in SGE we have you can also work as a researcher, and we have some researches that I have been kind of looked into. It's like what is the properties of silt, and what is how it change the temperature changes of when you take up a clay sample, how it will change it of temperature from the soil to the laboratory, change the different properties of the clay, because with the temperature change, how much will it disturb, or will it disturb the sample? But more what is a geotechnical engineer, because I have learned that what people here is a geovetare instead, and a geotechnical engineer can absolutely be a geovetare. But we are mainly working with settlement and bearing capacity of this and stability calculation in soils, soft soils. I'm work a lot with the clay. They are also can work in sand and silt and peat. And we also have the development of mitigation proposal and control programs for those when we build that actual proposal that we have proposed. We also do a lot of field investigations and laboratory testing to determine the soil layers and their properties. And I also talk a bit more about another way to actually work as a geotechnical engineer is in the laboratory, where I have personal interest right now, because I find it really interesting to get more advanced way to find the actual shear strength of the clay. And we have a different way to first in the process we also do is we have a routine test where we do classify the soils test and soil pack, and also do a cone test where we just drop a little cone into the clay. Then we have the CRS or the meter, where we get the modulus of the string parameters, and also the creep parameters for the clay, if we do with clay. And then we also have the direct shear strength, where you can get the direct shear strength and or undrained shear strength. And finally, we have here at the picture, we have a triaxial test, where we have all load the clay sample in all 3 ways. And so you have the actual strength, and you have can get increase the pressure around the test, and where you can find or you can evaluate the undrained and drained, active and passive shear strength, and also to actually see how anisotropic that the clay sample actually is. But more about me, what I actually do is that I work at the delegation of Göta älv. There we have about 100 million that we give in bidrag to the municipalities along the river to prevent landslides and such. And Göta älv is, as some of you may know, is the largest river in Sweden regarding water flow. And along the river we have a lot of quick clay, and therefore we are and because of we have a lot of transport and boats, and also we have water power plants along the river. The disturbance in the flow of the river in a way will be a large cost for this society, and therefore we are giving out those millions to good prevent measurements. And we also look through all the erosionsskydd along the river. And here we at the pictures we see how it will look before along Göta älv before they have any erosions at all, erosionsskydd along the river. You can see that we have a lot of skreds, landslides happening along the river, but this is not how it looks today. But how we do this is this work to see what the landslide prevention will do is we do these risk maps and also do calculate these preventive measurements. And we have one of the proposal that we look into right now that is in the Lilla Edet. And finally, I will just talk a bit about one of my other works we do at SGI is we have something called tjänsteperson i beredskap, where we work in emergency situations where support is given to rescue services and municipalities. And the one thing that I worked in was the Lökeberg landslide 2019, where a landslide happened, and they were wondering when can we go back to this area, and because it was it looked quite bad, as you see at the picture. That was all from me. I think that's what I can. If you have any questions about more geotechnical, you can just give it in the chat or send them to me. That's what everything I wanted to say.